AkronHipHop.com, the reporternewspaperonline.com. Of course, this is Hiram Akeem with yet another HiramGlyphic. Now look, real quick, this is something different than we do on Facebook. This is a little bit of more of that black consciousness, that real knowledge you can get in college, something that you can apply to your black existence here in the wilderness of North America, specifically Akron, Ohio. We like to call it Black in Ohio around these here parts, okay? So today, we're going to talk about why I'm not a Christian, okay? Not why it's cool for you not to be a Christian, or why you shouldn't be a Christian, but why the black man here is not a Christian. To go to that, we're going to have to go through a little bit of a history book. And sidebar, really, I don't want people to get this confused. This here vlog is for black theological constructs, conversations coming from a black theological perspective. Is to actually put forth some proper, you know what I'm saying, propaganda about your cultural existence as it pertains to here in Akron, Ohio. So we just vibing a little bit here. But of course, so this one is why I'm not a Christian. So we're gonna go into a little bit of a history lesson, something simple. I can go all over the place with the history lesson, but I'm gonna stick here to something simple. We hear the ex-slaves, once coming from the west coast of Africa, was introduced to biblical scripture through our experience. Now, I'm only speaking to our experience as ex-slaves here. Through biblical scripture, we got biblical scriptures from the hands of the slave master. Okay? I'm telling you, what they did, and those of you who don't know, and I'm speaking as if you don't know, they used the Bible as a tool to mentally condition the mindset of the black man, woman, and child as slaves. Now, this is not a secret. Some of you may not know, but for real, when they was conditioning you to bale the hay, pick the cotton, love your enemy, don't do what I do, do as I say. When they was conditioning you to do that, they had the Bible in his hand right here. They was teaching you from the Bible perspective. So the real question is, how can you get me, black man, African king, whoever you think I am before slavery, to come over here and bale hay? Okay? How can you get me to come over here and pick cotton? Come over here and literally hearken unto another man? Okay? How can you do that? Okay? According to the teachings, Malcolm X suggests there's a whole nother portion that was written out of history. It took like about 200 years of slave breeding in the West Caribbean before they got here. I'm going to say it again, according to the teachings. It took something that was written out of history, 200 years to condition the mindset for us to be here once we were brought here and we was hearkening like, yes, sir, boss, yes, sir, boss. So what happened 200 years? Where we're going to go? Before, according to Malcolm X's teachings, according to that particular definite dominant black man, I like to big up my man Malcolm X, there was a stop in the West Caribbeans, okay, West Indies, okay. And what they did was they was taking brothers and sisters, or us, from Africa, making a pit stop in the West Caribbeans or West Indies, okay. Africa, West Caribbean, Africa, Indies, Africa's Indies. That's what they were doing for 200 years, according to the teachings. They were doing that stop. What were they doing? They was conditioning the mindset of the black man coming from Africa as a king to be passive. Now, what was they doing here? They was doing some wild stuff. So they was basically breeding fear, is what was going on according to Malcolm X's teachings. They was breeding fear. They would do certain things like, some wild stuff. And I'm talking to my Akron people, man, because y'all might not know. I mean, this is written out of history. But they was doing some wild stuff. So they would take the women, the pregnant women. Okay, this is just one example. They would take the pregnant women and have them watch as a big animal looking, like my brother Animal, you know Animal, big wrestling looking brother, get disrespected in front of them all. What I mean by disrespected, I mean sodomized with branches and all types of stuff in front of the lady who bearing the kid. Okay, so the lady's psychosis is, look at this. If we do something crazy, we might get treated this way. Okay, now that fear that's been bred into the lady from watching her pharaoh getting dealt with that way is no doubt going to be transcended to the child. Now, I'm not spooky with it. I'm saying when that child is born, the mother's already conditioned with fear. Say, don't be looking in this European man's face. Don't look in the slave master's face. Don't do this. If they crazy, they will do this, that, and the third. And by her fear being so strong and so real, about time little Mook or little Mustafa or whoever the hell you want to call him is born, he's born in that same mentality their mother is teaching. Malcolm X says the first thing a child learns is his mother's tongue. First thing a child learns is his mother's tongue. So you sisters know, if it's cold outside, you're going to bundle your baby up. If you don't like peas, 9 times out of 10, you're not buying little peas to sell a little booker, okay? That's basically what I'm saying. So eventually, if you're scared of a thing, you're going to breed that fear into that baby. So even they would do even some crazy stuff to the brothers. They would let the brothers watch something crazy done to the sisters. I'm talking crazy stuff. I'm not even going to begin to tell you. I don't even think I should be telling you how they would cut the baby. I mean, the pregnant mother's belly out, the baby fall out and they step on it to breed fear. I'm not telling you that. This is some of the things that was happening. According to Malcolm X's teaching, this was happening in the West Indies, okay, to breed that fear. For 200 years, this is what was going on, okay? So about time they started bringing brothers from the West Indies, not Africa, but from the West Indies, from the breeding station. They was already, yes sir, boss, how you want it? They was always, yes sir, boss. According to the teachings, according to their arrogance, they stopped going to Africa. The fear was breeded so deep, it transcended the boundaries of water and went across the seas. And the fears of this slave master, the European man, was so crazy. Now, all the while they was, back to the subject, now all the while they was breeding this fear, they would read the Bible scriptures, or they would have their boots on the head of the babies that just fell out. Or they would have, when they dealing with the lady's husband in front of everybody with the, I'm trying to be graphic, right? I'm trying to be graphic. Doing this thing like this, they reading, I'm saying, love your enemy. They're reading biblical scripture to condition your mindset. This is how you was introduced to Christianity, partially. I'm not going everywhere else with Ethiopia and all that stuff. That's not where I'm going. I'm sticking it right here with your black self here in the wilderness of North America. This is how Christianity was hand-gifted, hand-crafted, hand-proposed, and promoted to you, okay? Now, when you know these things, and let's say, and you come into an understanding, and you see how we was conditioned to accept this stuff, I mean, and then it goes even deeper. So as they were, let me get back on this teaching lesson, right? So as they condition you, love your enemy, and this, that, and the third, they will use you, or the educated black man, the token, okay, to read this here jargon, read this propaganda, read the biblical scriptures to your black captive self. And they would get people like Nat Turner, okay, people like the educated one, to read to his people signs of liberation. And they just came out recently, literally, you can look this up, Google it, that the slave Bible. They're showing you some of the things that was later taken out of the Bible, I think as a direct result of Nat Turner uprising and revolt. They took certain things of liberation out of the Bible, so Nubians like you and I, back in those days, wouldn't rise up and revolt. Okay, this Bible you can find it right now. It's somewhere on the museum. I don't know where the hell it's at, but Google it, you see what I'm talking about. Okay, so when you look at what was happening in our existence here in the wilderness of North America, how this belief system was handed to us, handcrafted for us, conditioning our mindsets, okay, they would have one of us teaching us. And so much so that the European slave master used to be in the back. So they used to take Nat Turner or whoever the hell, plantation to plantation with this words of encouragement or words of hearkening, loving your enemy and all this here stuff, and taking it from plantation to plantation. And he used to sit there and watch. For no words of liberation should be spoken, as if, feel me, as if there wasn't there, the European man wasn't governing this here thing, but he was. And some say unto this day, when you go into some black churches, you still see the European depiction of that slave master overseeing the sessions in the form of white Jesus or European Jesus. Listen, man, I can go on and on days and days. Like I said, I'm not trying to convince nobody. Just trying to give you a little lesson, man. At the end of the day, these are some of the things your black self should be learning because it's your history. This is American history, right? And you should be teaching your seeds this here style, or at least get on here and talk back and forth with the black man. Listen, in the meantime, in between time, y'all better feel me before they kill me. It's Hiram Akeem. Peace.